In this video, we'll write the balanced net ionic equation for NaOH plus FeCl2, sodium hydroxide plus iron 2 chloride. First thing we need to do is balance the molecular equation. I can see I have two hydroxides here and just one here. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of the NaOH. Now I have two sodium atoms, put this 2 here, fixes the sodium, 2 chlorines, and now we have 2 times the 1, 2 chlorines there, iron and an iron. We've balanced the molecular equation. Now we need to write the state for each substance. Sodium hydroxide, that's a strong base, so we're going to put AQ after that. Aqueous. It'll dissolve, dissociate into its ions. Chloride's very soluble, AQ. And then here we have another chloride, sodium chloride, very soluble. But this iron 3 hydroxide, in general, hydroxides aren't soluble with a few exceptions. Elements in group 1 like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, they're soluble, but most of the other hydroxides are insoluble. So because of that, we're going to write an S. This is going to be a solid. It'll be a precipitate. These will react, and we'll see this iron 2 hydroxide fall to the bottom of the test tube. Now that we have the states, we can split the strong electrolytes into their ions for the complete ionic equation. Sodium is in group 1 on the periodic table. That'll be 1 plus. The whole hydroxide ion, 1 minus. Good one to remember. So we have 2 sodium ions, Na plus, and I'll write aqueous at the end. I'm not going to do that now. Plus 2 hydroxide ions. And then iron, we don't really know the charge on iron. We have to look at what it's bonded to since it's a transition metal. Chlorine, that forms 1 minus ions. So 2 times 1 minus, that's 2 minus. This has to be 2 plus. So we have the iron 2 ion, Fe2 plus 2 of these chloride ions, 2Cl minus. And those are the reactants in our net ionic equation. For the products, we said we had a plus and a minus here, so 2 sodium ions plus that 2 goes to the whole thing, so 2 chloride ions. And then with net ionic equations, we don't split solids apart. So we just write FeOH2, and that is the iron 2 hydroxide. So now we have the complete ionic equation. We can cross out the spectator ions. They're on both sides of that complete ionic equation. They haven't changed, so we're not interested in them. I can see in the reactants I have 2 sodium ions here and in the products. Let's cross that out. 2 chloride ions, products, 2 chloride ions, cross it out. And what remains is the net ionic equation for NaOH plus FeCl2. I'll clean it up, write the states in, we'll have our net ionic equation. And this is the balanced net ionic equation for NaOH plus FeCl2, sodium hydroxide plus iron 2 chloride. You'll notice that charge is balanced. I have 2 times the 1 minus here. So I have 2 minus, 2 plus. They cancel out. We have a neutral compound here. And mass is conserved as well. If you count the atoms up, we have the same number of atoms, both sides of the equation. This is Dr. B, and thanks for watching.